Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Miles Mug for race 9, the final race of the championship where the champion will be decided. Let's take a look at the standings. SGP leading the way, 143 points, 19 ahead of Demonar, is on for taking the title here. Third place, Steve F1 battling with Dave the Harp, Jason in 5th place, then we've got Jimmy battling with Twilight, SRI, formerly Gary, and then we've got Conrad, Rich Blues, Hey, Bob, Art Pal and Bunsel. Unfortunately though, Formula Gary and Conrad unavailable for today's race. Now, for the final time in 2022, let's hand over to the commentators for all of the action. So here we go then, the final race of the championship from Cirque de la Sarthe. No chickens. And joining me on commentary is Ray. How are you, Ray?
I'm doing very well. Look at all the people in the grandstand waiting for a fantastic race.
Yeah, and also look at the clouds. It looks like the sun is beginning to set here in France. I think it is France. Okay, so for the final time this season, let's have a look at the grid. We've got Demonar on pole position, and he's joined by Dave the Harp on front row.
Yeah, and then we've got my Twilight 3rd place, and then Steve F1 4th.
Yeah, Jason was quick in practice. He's 5th place with Art Pal in 6th place.
SRI, he's in 7th place, and oh shit,
It was Bob,
Bob,
then Jimmy,
Jimmy,
and Rich.
Rich,
SGP,
and he up at the back.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of cars on track today.
Yeah, and another look at the grandstands on the other side. Nice to see the stadiums are fuller than some of the ones at the World Cup anyway. Just ignore some of those empty blue seats over there. So this final race of the Miles Mug, and if anyone's wondering why SGP was that far down the order, he's not doing the Champions Challenge because he's not the champion. We're at 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away they go. And it's a slow getaway as per usual. But yeah, SGP's not doing Champions Challenge. He just decided not to qualify. Go on.
Twilight's going to jump on Dave the Harp. So Steve F1.
Oh, I wonder if that might be because of the clean and dirty side of the track, Ray, as they make their way into the first couple of corners.
Dave the Harp's. Wait, is that Dave the Harp? It was Dave the Harp. He was down the inside. He couldn't get back onto the racing line.
Oh, did Jason's had a fantastic start from 5th, I think, or 4th to 3rd. Steve F1 wasn't able to get past Dave the Harp then, so perhaps those two tripping over each other a little bit. I wasn't really looking. I was looking at the track map, which isn't near my screen. I was trying to work out what the name of the first chicane was. Okay, the run onto the Mulsanne straight. Oh, Jason runs a little bit wide. Drivers are going to have to be careful of that one. But yeah, the Mulsanne straight without any chicanes. We're going to reach a fantastic, phenomenal top speed of 187 mile an hour. It can't go any faster than that. But what we shouldn't see, Ray, is loads of overtaking down the straight, really, as it gets busy around Rich.
Yeah, Rich going sideways, and then SGP trying to look for a way past. Yeah, it was a hard one. You get up to speed, the slipstream. As soon as you come out that slipstream, it's like a brick wall hits you.
Absolutely. So a bit of bump drafting going on with SGP and Rich Blues, and then on the other side with Hay and I think it might be Jimmy there behind Art Pal. SRI's in there as well. Steve F1 slipstreaming behind Dave the Harp. So yeah, these guys, as we can see, they're not sort of boosting past and repassing. It's all about the slipstream because they're all basically doing the same speed into the kink, which becomes a tricky corner when it's that busy, as Rich has found out. He's lost a wing mirror. He was Jamaican, now he's just Jamaican. The can's gone. Oh no! Now it's just jam.
Back in. Oh, we'll look at it slow down for here. Let's see. We see MD going deep.
That looks like everybody's got it slowed down.
Yeah. We're on Steve F1. He's on the back of Dave the Harp. Unfortunately, Dave the Harp never got a good start. Hopefully, he can make up places.
Yeah,
again.
I mean, He's quick around here. He's on the pack cam. We've got Jimmy, I think, behind Art Power. It is, yep. Demon Art that was on the front of the screen there. Twilight really close to him, actually, as they're making their way through Indianapolis into the tight left-hander. Sorry, the tight left-hander is Indianapolis, and then it's Arnage. So, yeah, there's the kink before Indy, and then this is Arnage here. Not as tricky as the corner at the end of the Mulsanne Straight, but similar, isn't it?
Mulsanne Straight, what?
Yeah, the tie one at the end of the long straight.
Where's the Mulsanne?
The big fucking straight, the big long one. That's the Mulsanne Straight.
Oh, what with the derivative PlayStation chicane?
Yes. Oh, Twilight. Demon Arzov! Sorry, Demon Arzov into the gravel on the way in towards the Porsche curves. That's the lead gone. Jason's also gone past Twilight while I was trying to explain what the Mulsanne was to you.
Yeah, so it's the one after the kink?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So basically I'll say that the tight right-hander after Indianapolis is a little bit like that right-hander at the end of the long straight. It's kind of same sort of corner, but different. All Twilight. No, it's Dave, sorry. Having a look up the inside of Twilight into the final corners. Oh, he's got a move done.
Oh. No, he's not.
Yeah, he has.
Oh, Twilight's backed out. Maybe Twilight thought he'd cut the corner a wee bit there and backed out, but now he's going to have Steve F1 on him.
Demon Art. I think you were right. I think he knew he'd cut the corner there, which is why, I reckon he did back out of it. So Jason now leading the way. Steve F1 putting some pressure on Twilight. Tricky Dunlop chicane. Oh, Twilight's got deep. Yeah, he's gone. That was Dave. There's Twilight. So maybe Twilight's tyres were a little bit dirty from the final chicane. That's he's under a lot of pressure now.
And he might find that he might lose a couple of places and not just the one, because once you're out of line or you've went deep onto the dirty stuff, it takes a while for your tyres to re-grip up.
Absolutely.
Because of the time of day, somebody out wide back there, because of time of day, well, should I say day or night? Because of time of night, the tyres are cold as it is, so
not only that, once they get on this straight, the temperatures are just going to drop and drop and drop in the tyres, aren't they? So they're not really going to get, well, they might get cleaned up, but they're not going to keep a good temperature. It's also worth letting everybody know that technically the track width, Rich got a bit wobbly. Technically the track width is only the 2 lanes in the middle of the tarmac. The outer 2 lanes, it's dirty there. I mean, you can't go there, but it is dirty.
Yeah, you've seen Rich Blues, you could see him kicking up all that dirt earlier on. You can still see it on him, but see it just in the back. Yeah, so his tyres are going to be massive.
He's just kicked up a load more dirt up against the wall. Very busy in the pack there around SRI. It had and SGP. There was like 3 by 3. Oh, here comes Jimmy up the inside. I'm looking back. He's going deep, surely. No, he's not. He's made a move. What a move.
Yep. You're lucky to get that slowed down. I thought I heard tyres squeal in the background. I did. Who was that? Was that Art Pal?
It might have been.
No, it can't be.
I thought he was going to go out. I thought I put it down. I did.
I know. Might have been he. Art Pal's in this.
Oh,
SRL.
Yeah. It's a bit dirty on those outer ends, isn't it? Let's see Art Pal kicking up the dust. But I suppose it's one of the, I mean, we talked about it last week. One of the reasons of using this car, or liking, one of the things I like about using this car around is, oh, Demon Art wide again. Oh, into the barrier. Someone's well wide into Indianapolis as well. Demon Art holds on. Twilight having a look up the inside. But there's a corner there somewhere. Oh, dear.
Oh.
Well, Twilight went for it, didn't make it. Is he? He's not even giving the place. Well, actually, is he? Oh, I think he is. Yeah, he is. That's why he's out there. Yeah. Oh, and Rich just.
Rich!
That's nice of him, isn't it? Bloody hell. I know you weren't feeling too well last week, Rich, but no. Oh, he's got his elbows out on Bob, I think. Yep, there's Rich. Bob is in the gravel.
Yeah.
Well,
Bob's gone.
Yeah.
Maybe because he lost the wing mirror.
Yeah, it could be. You might not have seen him. Someone might want to take Rich's temperature, though. He may be getting a little bit hot as Twilight's all over the back of him as they make their way towards the final few corners. Okay, just to put things into perspective for everybody, tyre wear shouldn't be an issue unless you're SRI wobbling about like that. Rich got a little nudge up the rear. Twilight gets through side by side. Who was that? Was it Art Pal Demonar, I think, behind SGP?
It could be. SGP's got a run on Jimmy.
That he has. It was Art Pal and Demonar was side by side. They've now got Twilight squeezing in between them towards the first corner. SGP's got the move done on Jimmy.
Yeah, he has. Sorry, I was in a daydream. I was looking at the screen, but I went into a daydream. My mind just went blank.
I think Art Pal's just had a moment. There were 3 wide towards the first corner.
Twilight's slowing down.
I think that might be to let Art Pal through. Maybe there was a bit of contact between the two of them through. The first corner is not really a corner; it's a kink, but in these it is a corner. So I think Twilight was waiting. Oh, Rich Blue's trying to hold on. 3 wide. You don't normally go 3 wide here. Demonar manages to get ahead. Is Rich going to make it? Oh, on the curb.
That was close. That was close. That was borderline.
Well, interestingly, I do know there are a few locations around this track where track limits could be an issue. But I also know there's a few places where drivers may not realise they may be exceeding track limits. Maybe that'll be something we can have a look at on the G-Spot. Who knows? What we have got here, though, is a 4-way battle now. Demonar, SRI, Rich Blues, and Hey.
Yeah. As we see, Arpal's up behind here, but is Twilight behind him still?
I think he is.
Yes, he is. I can just. But yeah, SRI's doing the bum draft here. He's not going for a overtake.
Yep, into the kink. Now this is the important bit, the braking point down here. It can be different depending on which part of the road you're on. Oh, Art Pal, he's gone a little bit late on the brakes. So is SRI. Is SRI going to get it stopped, or is the gravel going to stop him? Oh, Rich is all over the bollards. Where's SRI? It was the gravel that stops him. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
And there was a spin on the background there as well. SRI far too late on the brakes there.
I wonder if it might have been Twilight spinning in the background, because I think Bob has made a place or two. We're having a quick look at... Steve F1, that's deep! That's big time deep. And here comes SGP. So that left-hander there is Indianapolis. Now, normally, these 2 corners aren't really that treacherous, but in these cars, they are. You brake a touch too late, because that kink, the right-hander, in a race car, Ray, we'd normally probably go around it flat out, wouldn't we?
Yeah, if anything, a little lift for if you weren't fully confident. But in these, it's a braking zone.
Exactly. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see more people going off there as well. Now, Steve F1 has got lucky in terms of it hasn't cost him a position, but it has cost him quite a bit of lap time, or a distance between himself and Dave the Harp. As we're having a look at SGP, who's got Jimmy hunting him back down. Jimmy's flying. Fantastic to see.
Yeah, he's still doing his trademark drifting as well.
Well, hopefully he won't be doing it down the straight. Oh, that's a bit wide, Steve F1. Oh, that's a bit sideways as well. Oh dear, oh dear. That's a big crash on the exit of the Porsche curves. It's sort of into the Maison Blanche, or as Steve F1 calls it, fucking wall. But yeah, he definitely got a bit wide, and maybe that was just too much dirt on the tyres. Okay, what we're looking at? Oh, Jimmy, big time sideways. That's what you were on about then, with Jimmy getting sideways still. So that's put SGP up to third, Jimmy fourth, Demonor fifth. Who's in sixth? Rich Blues running in sixth place at the moment, doing well.
Yeah, I've seen a few times Rich up doing well. Not to say that he's a shit driver or anything, but
oh, Jimmy's wide.
Yeah. Oh, is it going to give Demonor the chance? So when would you really want to overtake before the big long straight?
Normally no, but in these cars maybe, because of the limited speed on them. Looking on the pack cam, Jason, Dave, there are a bit of a gap forming between them. At this position now, you can't really make the move, but oh, Jimmy, big time.
Well, you can if Jimmy's doing that.
Yep. But this is the thing. It's one of those things. In these cars, without a slipstream, you're going to do 185 mile an hour. With a slipstream, you're going to do 187. So you're not really going to be like Jimmy here is not going to be slipstreaming up to Demonor and driving past him. So making the move early might not be a bad idea. Or bump draft all the way down the straight and then try and make the move on the brakes into the Mulsanne corner.
That's a danger you've got, is somebody missing the brake point and smacking you off.
Absolutely.
So that's why I was asking, do you do it before then or after?
Well, it's a good question. Just a quick question for you, Ray, as these guys are getting towards the Mulsanne kink, which is the right-hander coming up. Very difficult if you're behind drivers here to get this kink, to do it without doing what Hayes done there. But I was going to say, would you class drivers being outside the two lanes here as an ETL?
To be honest, no. The tyres are going to be dirty, all the dirt they're collecting, and they can't really gain any advantage.
They're not cutting a corner, right? I mean, you can't cut a straight, can you? Well,
they're not even within that space. They're not going anywhere because of the car's limitations.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, so what I will say is through the Mulsanne corner, everybody got through there beautifully. Can they all get through India? Now Richard's coming in hot. Can he get it slowed down? Oh, Bob's ran a bit wide. Jimmy got sideways. Well, I don't know why I'm saying that. Jimmy's always sideways. He didn't get sideways. He just is. And then through the, what's that, Arnage. I always forget the name of that right-hander. That one's Arnage. It is a tricky corner.
You know you've got Jimmy Five Bellies, it's Jimmy Sideways.
That's not bad, actually. That's not bad. Jimmy Sideways. Looking at the pack cam. Art Palcom under a bit of pressure as Demonor closing in on the back. Jimmy's gone deep. Jimmy's gone deep into the Porsche curves on the start of it. Oh, Bob's gone deeper. Side by side, Jimmy and Demonor. Demonor's wide, that'll be to the wall. Oh, just misses it.
Just
all
keeps
right. Breathe in.
I think he get pinned in the wall there.
Can they now get... Oh, Jimmy's wide again. I think Jimmy, he's got to get this slowed down or he's going to run really, really wide. He's safe there on the curb. Arpal wasn't. Demonor wobbling. Two cars off. Oh, I wonder if Arpal did exactly what Steve F1 did. Got out wide onto the dirty bit. He just spat him around. Demonor put... Oh, is Richard Blues making a move on Steve F1? Yes, he is. What a move into the final few corners. Oh, yeah. Demonor, that's the wrong way.
He's like, you're not coming on yet, or was that Arpal?
Reporting Hay for hitting me off the track. Dave was sliding a bit deep then into the Dunlop chicane.
Yeah. Let's see it. Rich, he's going deep.
Oh, Rich.
He's going slow, is it? I think he slowed down for a bit there.
Do you reckon? Why would you do that then?
Just try not to gain advantage.
He's wide. Rich is wide. Rich is off. He's on the left somewhere. He dipped away the wheel in the gravel as well. Okay.
I thought we were going 3 wide again.
Too wide. ETL. Wobble.
Yeah, I think that was avoiding giving space.
Okay.
Avoiding a collision.
So it was an AETL. Avoiding exceeding track limits. Well, actually, no, that don't work, does it?
Avoiding a Steve F1.
Fair enough. Okay, on the pack cam, looking on someone's bonnet. I think that might be Artpal actually behind Demon R as Steve F1 trying to make a move on Hay. Is SRI. Who's he going to bump draft? It's Steve F1. Hay is he's going to be hung out to dry here. It's not going to be a big speed difference, but it's going to be just enough, I reckon.
Let's see. Artpal's going out to give Hay a helping hand.
Or is he just trying to get more of a slipstream for himself? He's not really gaining, though.
No, nobody's really gaining anything.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe on the kink is the inside line, but that was it.
Well, hopefully, Hay.
four wide.
Oh, there was a bit of contact there, I think. I think there may have been a bit of a touch there between Artpal and Hay before Hay went sideways. I could be wrong. Steve F1's through. Demon R's through, SRI's through, and Rich Blues is through. I was going to say I wouldn't want to be in Hayes' position on that outer line and on the brakes, because on that dirty bit, you don't want to be on the dirty bit when you're braking. But yeah, I don't know if you saw anything different to what I saw there, Ray.
Nah, I couldn't make out. I just seen Hay going left instead of right. But I try to see where Artpal is and see if he has waited. I can't see at the minute.
Who's that?
We don't know.
I think that was Artpal. He's definitely waiting now. Yeah, I am hearing that was Artpal. I mean, we couldn't see exactly what happened there, but from what I'm hearing, he did earlier, but worse. And I mean, you know what?
It's a medic.
Yeah, well, we talked last week, didn't we, about I think it was on the G-Spot. I think it was actually when you made a slight misjudgment at the first corner of the race and went a bit deep, where there wasn't really anywhere you could go to take evasive. Oh, Jimmy, you can take evasive there, but it's not going to be quick. Was it me, or did his car just drag out sideways there?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, what? Is that much sideways? It's going crab style.
Yeah, I want to know what assists he's got on that car. 4-wheel steering sideways.
Activate crab mode.
Yeah. That's why he keeps sliding all over the place. He's not sliding. He's scratching the crabs. Right, okay, so what I'll say, for what I'm hearing, Artpal was taking evasive and ended up heading towards the wall. And that's the thing, around here there are places you can end up. You can take evasive, there's a much more space. Looks like on the pack cam we're going for a few, I was going to say a lap, but I doubt it'll be a lap, because it'd be pointless going down the main straight on board with him, but we'll see. But what we got here now, Demon R on the back of Steve F1 into the Dunlop chicane.
Oh, Rich Blues making a move on SRI.
Nice.
We're on Jason.
Yeah, on 2 cameras.
And we're on Jace. Yeah.
We're on Jason and Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason and then, yeah. Bit of a gap forming though between Jason and Dave now. SGP in 3rd place. I don't know if he's gaining. Steve F1 and Demon R. Oh, that's a little bit wide.
Oh, wide.
Yeah, he's going to have to be careful of that.
Oh, SRI's lost a place to Artpal.
That he has.
As well as Rich.
Yeah. Oh, Rich is
and
on
then,
fire.
Yeah.
Artpal's going for the move.
Yep, well, as in Jamaicans always on fire.
True.
Let me light it up.
I tell you, I went to board some golf clubs today, and as soon as the person opened the door, I was just like, holy shit. Like I was literally punched in the face by a fucking cloud of weed smoke, and it wasn't good stuff either because it stunk nasty. But it literally it was like being hit in the face, and because not been a bit bumpy, 4 wide. Some weed can smell beautiful. Yeah, this didn't. It was a dirty weed, but anyway, unfortunately, I now need to wash the golf clubs because they also stink of weed. But he'll be right. Okay, Demon R on Steve F1 down into the Mulsanne curve. Oh, Rich! He got a bit sideways there. Oh, bit bumped. They're trying to make a move on Demon R. Oh,
he's slowing it down. Did he gain? He was in front of Art Pal, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
I don't think he gained. I think he slowed it down so Art Pal was back up his arse.
Yep. Okay, now we've got Jimmy closing in as well. Not seen Bob for a while. I think.
Art Pal out in that dirty place. He's going to find the brakes here a wee bit. Slider. Is he going to get it slowed down?
Rich isn't. That's going. Oh, that's a big off. Oh, that. I mean, I don't know whether he ended up. I don't know if he ended up in the situation there of okay, I've got to speed up to crash to get out of the way. I don't know, but he definitely went into the Indianapolis wall hard.
I hope he put some preparation H on there before he went into that wall backwards.
Yeah. Well, I just heard him in the car going beep, 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 beep. This vehicle is reversing. Okay, so what have we got now? Oh, 4 wide.
I don't think I had time to go beep, beep. This vehicle's reversing. Oh, Art Pal wide and then Bob wider. Somebody we've not seen for a while.
Yeah. Oh, Dave the Arp's there. Who have we not seen for a while?
Twilight.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good point. And actually, Steve F1, that's a little bit wide there, naughty boy. We had 12 people in this race. There's now only 11. I wonder what has happened there. Bob. Oh, he's all right. I thought he was going massive wide.
Yeah, well, we do know he had a sore ankle, and he was on a 50-50 of racing with his wheel or racing and pad, and then I'm sure his wife needed a cup of tea, so he had to go make it.
Yeah. Happy wife, happy life. No wife, happier life. No, I don't mean that. Art Pal making the move on SRI. The reason, SRI's not stopping that, is he? Oh yeah, he is. I think he may have had to. Oh, someone in the background didn't. Who was that? I think that was Hay. No, it wasn't Hay. It was somebody else. It might have been Jimmy. That went quite wide there as Art Pal and SRI still battling. But yeah, the way I kind of said about no wife, happy life, it almost sounds like I'm saying go and murder your wives. That's not what I'm saying. If anyone gets arrested and in their interview they're asked why did you do it, Demon R told me to. Okay, so Art Pal ahead of SRI. Is SRI going to be able to make the move? But this is the thing, if Art Pal just stays in Demon R's slipstream, SRI's not getting past him.
Nah, he's not. But then if Art Pal moves a wee bit in the wrong direction, I know SRI will just stick his front end there to stop him from getting back into his slipstream.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, one thing we will see, we've not seen a lot of SRI. Yeah, he's trying to get his nose in. We've not seen a lot of trying to break slipstream down the straight, and I think it's a good thing as well because. Actually, I think actively trying to break slipstream slows you down. So although you might be trying to slow the cars down behind you, I don't think it works. Okay, Rich has managed to catch up to SRI. That's the benefit of the boost. But as you'll see, it's not going to allow him to just breeze on by. He will get up alongside through the kink. Hagen a little bit wobbly. Demon R having a look at the inside of Steve F1. I sound like a horse racing commentator over the final furlong. They go. Is he going to go for it under the brakes? He is, he's going to try it.
Rich is going for it on SRI.
Yeah, SRI's got for a little switchback, not quite worked though, I don't think. Demon R has got through. Art Pal has really closed that gap up, and Rich is through. Can he hold on?
I think they're side by side. It depends who Is it Hayes going to give the bum draft to?
It looks more like Hayes wanted to get past. Is Steve F1 back ahead of Demonar? Yes, he is. How did that happen?
Atpal going for the move.
Yep, Steve F1's a bit wide. Someone was wide as well. I think it was Hay. Is he still there? Oh, there he is. Oh, it goes through. Oh, I think he collected Atpal. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Maybe Hay didn't have opportunity to take evasive there. But yeah, oh, dear, oh, dear.
You know what sound effect we need to get? Missile lock target acquired.
Firing club.
But yeah.
Okay, so Rich Blues now on the back of Demonar. I mean, that crash has kind of freed up Steve F1 and SRI a little bit. Rich Blues having a look around the outside, is he? But we're not looking at that. We're having a quick look at Jason. And on the pack cam, we're on Steve F1, who's got SRI behind him. I'm wondering if that gap is opening up between Jason and Dave the Harp as they come through the exit of the Porsche curves. Dave's a little.
He's sliding. He's sliding it.
He's all right though. Still got a bit of a gap to SGP.
Is he getting to that stage where he's pushing a bit?
Could be. Steve F1 was a little bit wide as well. Demonar a little bit sideways, and so it's Atpal. I was going to say so's Jimmy in the background, but it was Atpal. So Demonar closing in on the back of SRI now into the final few corners. As on the pack cam, looks like we're going for another bonnet view. Once again on, it's Rich Blues this time. Nope, we're going to Jason.
I'll come back to Jason. There's Rich behind Demonar.
Okay, so the pack cam's having a look at the gap relevant to the first couple of corners by the looks of it. Oh, Demonar going for the move. Is he going for the move? Yes, he is going for the move. Little bit of door bugger to get through though. Side by side. SRI will be compromised with his speed, but he'll have the inside line for this right-hander down the hill. But Demonar is ahead. SRI trying to go around the outside to what will be the inside. Can't quite do it, but Demonar's gone wide. Oh no, it's sliding.
I think he's. Oh yeah, he was on the. He was on the grass there at one point. His tyres. So Steve F1, he's got a bit of a gap to Demonar. SRI just falling in the slipstream. Then you've got Atpal and Rich. Oh, a wee bit of door banging on the straight. I want the slipstream. No, give me the slipstream.
Oh, Demonar's moved over. I think he spotted what was happening. He's decided to give Atpal the slipstream there. That's interesting because that could put Atpal up alongside SRI. And I mean, SRI can't move over because Atpal's already alongside. If Rich Blues tucks in behind Atpal, SRI could get really stuck out to dry here.
Yeah, let's see how this goes down to the kink. I think Atpal might be a wee bit ahead now.
I think you might be right. I think Atpal, he is. Benefited the most. So that's worked. So SRI now looking at moving back across, is he? Yeah, into the slipstream of Atpal. Rich Blues hasn't gained anything. Here comes Bob up the inside as well. Is it Bob or yeah, it is Bob. There's Jimmy. So Demonar played that quite cleverly, but now he's got Atpal having a look up the inside down into the Mulsanne curve. Oh, Rich and Bob, little bit of contact. Are they deep? I think yes, they are. Where's Atpal? Oh wow, someone in the background went major deep. I think Rich.
Rich has stopped.
I think he might be waiting for Atpal. Yeah, Atpal's behind Demonar, quite far away behind as well. You might see him appear in the back there. So yeah, unfortunately for Atpal, was going for the move and I think got collected by Rich and possibly Bob, who are trying to sort of make moves in the braking zone. SRI now battling with Jimmy.
Yeah. Oh, SRI's. That's wrong. That's not going to stop.
Oh dear. No, dear. See, now I think that's where earlier on we saw. Well, we didn't really see it, but Atpal I think did the same as what SRI did there, but opted to turn left into the wall, whereas SRI's tried to save it and instead put Jimmy into the wall. What a move, SRI. Well done.
What a move, Jimmy.
Yeah, what a move. Absolutely. But the thing is, I mean, that's what I think Hay did as well earlier. You get to a point where you can't turn left or take evasive. And it's not like you can slow down any more than it is slowing you down anyway. Jason, how's he looking? A little bit of slide on the rear, but the front's gripping, isn't it? So he's looking comfortable at the moment. Oh, David.
Oh!
Ooh. He's done well to keep it on the road there.
Yeah. Who's that?
Oh, it did it.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah, he got a bit too wide. It's interesting how that wide, dirty bit is affecting a few of the cars. As ArtPal has managed to catch, something must have happened then with a few of the cars, because ArtPal was nowhere near Demon a little while ago. There was SRI.
Yeah, SRI
took
Jimmy out.
That's right, sorry, I forgot about that, yeah. Okay, so SRI, yeah, there's SRI, and Rich Blues is a little bit behind him. Just to let you know, 7 minutes. Oh, Rich!
Oh, run.
I don't know what the result of that was. I'm looking on the track map. He's still facing the right direction. Steve F1. Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Oh, that was. I think that was a close call.
Might well have been. Perhaps taking a little bit too much curb. But yeah, he's closed in on SGP, with SGP having had that moment that we saw. So that means that SGP is not going to be closing in on Dave the Harp anymore. I don't think Dave's closing in on Jason at the moment. And I don't think... Demon R's quite close to Steve F1 as well. I think SGP was a bit wide. Demon R may have been. And ArtPal definitely sideways on the pack cam. Oh, clobbers the barrier as well. Here comes Hay like a wrecking ball. Is he going to be? Hay might be able to make moves early here, because ArtPal, is slower, because you can't just take the slipstream.
What? What's he doing? Get out my way, child.
Check your radar. Is that somebody ahead of Demon R trying to share the slipstream? Now, this is something where we've not talked about it for a while, but if somebody is sharing the slipstream or trying to break slipstream, the cars behind have to be very, very careful of moving around. Touched on it a little bit on the last G-spot, didn't we, with Bob when he tried to follow SRI's slipstream, but just touched Dave. Thankfully, though, these guys look like they've calmed down a little bit. But also doing what sort of Jimmy and ArtPal were doing there, where they both kind of had half of their car behind Hay. That still works as a slipstream. You don't have to be fully behind someone.
Yeah.
Somebody's
not got it stopped.
Which one was it? Bob? It was Bob. Side. Yeah, Jimmy got sideways. So it was Bob. He's back out on the track somehow. There he is. And Hay. Unless it was so it must have been Hay then that went massively wide. I thought it was Bob, but no, Bob's there with Jimmy.
Yeah, I thought it was a green car, but it's not. It's
maybe it's just the effect of the setting sun. So 3 wide then down towards the kink, and then Indianapolis. Demon R still a little bit ahead of him. This may have allowed Steve F1 to stay it. Yeah, Steve F1's opened the gap up. Can these guys all get it slowed down? Looks like they can. Is that Jimmy making the move up the inside? He's trying. He's going to be on the outside now, though.
Bob missed it. ArtPal going for a switchback. SRI try to follow.
Yeah, I think Bob just got a little bit late on the brakes there. Jimmy was able to spot it and do a nice little switchback, and Bob now losing places. Here comes SRI. We'll see if SRI is going to try and get past into the Porsche. This is one of my favourite sections of this racetrack, through these section of corners, because even in this car there's a rhythm to it, and when you get it right, like Jimmy didn't, but when you get it right you can be so quick through here. How was Demon R on the back of us? I thought he was ahead of them.
ArtPal scraping the wall there. I don't know, I can't, unless something happened at the hairpin.
Oh no, I'm hearing entry of the Porsche curves. He went deep like he did in the early laps, as Bob's had another venture wide.
I thought Bob was going to lose it there.
Okay, so just to let you know, the leaders have started the last lap of the race as these guys getting busy in the chicane. I also do like the final section here.
SRI, you naughty boy. But then was he taking avoidance with Jimmy?
Well, that's fine. As long as we gain an advantage, and he's ahead. So,
Well, he was ahead to begin with.
well, so maybe he's Jimmy's he making this could get tricky for Jimmy. Tight kink, and that's why his car's wobbling. Yet got a bit off track as well. Demon R trying to have a look up the inside as well. Yeah, Jimmy, he's been punished for that one as Hayes sideways and someone else is off. Oh, SRI wobbling.
Yeah, we've seen SRI and Demon R down this sections side by side before. SRI didn't quite come out on top. Is it going to come out? Oh! Yeah, the bollards.
Oh, here comes Bob as well, looking up the inside. Oh! Bit of contact.
I don't think SRI could have saved as good as he could.
He's done well to keep facing right. It was difficult to tell from the angle we had whether Bob came in a bit late. I'm guessing he might have done, but that's just a guess. But what that has meant is SRI would have been a bit slower on the straight. Art Pal has the advantage, but nowhere Demon R's going at the moment other than sniffing SRI's exhaust pipe. Who's that pulling up alongside? It's Bob. Oh, and Hay. I think Hay decided to go on the dirty bit, went big time sideways, thought better of it. Now Bob's out on the dirty bit, hung out to dry. He's not going to be gaining anything. Jimmy on the other side. Hay's got nowhere to go. Art Pal's being caught up here. Oh, this could be interesting. This could be very interesting going into the Mulsanne kink. Drivers taking the tight line. Oh, Rich sideways. How are they going to be on the brakes? Okay, drivers on the right have gone right to stop cars from coming up the inside. Demon R went left. SRI's gone left, then right. Bob's all over the place. Jimmy's all over the place. Oh, Hayes flying.
Somebody's gone. Demon R's on the...
Wow, I think Demon R may have been assisted on that one. But yeah, that's allowed. Rich is through. Oh, Bob's. Yep. It was hard to tell who was off first there. I think it may have been Bob and Hay. I could be wrong. But then Hay's still in there, so maybe I am wrong. But yeah, there was a lot going on there as Art Pal managed to survive it and stay ahead. Wobbly.
Yeah, Jimmy and the inside, like a wee bit of door banging to SRI and then SRI door banging to Hay, I think it was.
Yeah.
So we see Steve F1 and is he going for a move? Oh, I thought he was going for a move.
I think Hay just did a move on SRI into Indianapolis. Rich Blues got through as well on the back cam. As Hay's now gone wide and into the barrier, I think. Yeah, he has. Spun around he goes. As the pack cam is now on that battle. We have to keep an eye out for Jason getting towards the final few corners. As the pack cam now on Demon R as Steve F1 following SGP into the Porsche curves. Oh no, he's not following him. That's because SGP's gone wide. Oh, Steve F1's punted him.
Oh. Ooh. Is that a push to pass?
It could be. Maybe he's got a button. Target locked. Oh, SRI squeezing. Rich is in there as well, and Jimmy. So Rich is ahead. Rich is in a great position here at the moment. So Jason coming into the final chicane. Keep an eye on that back cap. Jason is going to take the victory unless he cocks it up big time now. So yeah, well done to Jason. It will be the victory. Demon R's past Rich Blues. I think Rich got sideways through the Porsche curves. It's still sideways. Dave the Arm coming through the corners. It will be second for Dave. Third is going to be Steve F1 on the pack cam. We've got a car sideways through the chicanes. We've got cars all over the place through the chicanes. And we've got Jimmy taking a place. SRI taking a place as well. Past Demon R. A lot of changes in the final few corners. Bob through to 8th. Rich down to 9th. Art Pal was 5th. Is now 10th. And Hay's going to be 11th. Oh, disaster at the end there for the likes of Art Pal. Oh dear. I wonder what may have happened there.
Don't have a skipper. I was trying to watch it, but then I was keeping an eye. I think Demon R had a moment, and then everybody was trying to
avoid.
Try and get round the last corner.
Well,
I don't know what happened.
you see, I've got a feeling that Art Pal may have got a little bit sideways. I think it was Art Pal that was sort of sideways in the middle of the road. So if that was the case, maybe it was just avoiding action from the cars behind. You know what we'll have to do? We'll have to have a look at that on the G-Spot, which should be... actually, I'll ask you about this.
Yeah.
Should we put the G-Spot out on a Monday, or... do you reckon it might be better putting it out on, say, a Wednesday, because the race video comes out on a Sunday and then it's only one day until another video comes out? So I'm wondering whether we should save the G-Spot a couple of days.
It's up to yourself. It sure doesn't.
Yeah.
Like I've always said, don't make yourself pressure to get it out within a set time frame that's too quick. So
I just want to let everybody know of the irony of you telling me about not getting it out in time. Oh,
you dick.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah. Okay. Well, you know what, folks? That's this championship done. Some of the guys will be happy about that. They didn't get on with this car. SGP didn't win today. Didn't need to. But is champion. As a 3-time Gold Star champion, 1-time Dirty champion. So well done to him. But I also want to say well done to Jason on taking the win here today.
Yeah, he did well. He what position did he start on?
I think it was 4th or 5th. I think it was 4th. No, 5th.
And then after a couple of laps, he was leading the race.
Yeah, I mean, he got past Twilight at the same point that Demon R went off on that first lap and then was leading. And yeah, I mean, this thing, we saw in practice that Jason had pace. If he was given a chance to break away, he had pace around there. But I do know that... I say I do know. I have heard there was a few questions being raised about track limits. I mean, I don't know if there's been any reports placed or anything like that. I mean, I don't know if you know of anything.
I don't know, but I will quickly check.
But what is
See what is and what isn't.
Okay. Yeah. Well, as Ray is checking that, what I will say is, I mean, we've commented a bit about track limits.
There is one report, but not about track limits.
Would you like to let everybody know what that report is?
I don't know. No. Well,
See, I know what it is.
I don't see the point of that report.
Yeah. I don't either. But anyway, it's basically. I think it's a joke.
I think that should be minus 10 points for wasting Stuart's time.
No, it needs to be minus more than that, because 10 points makes no difference.
16.
Disqualification for the rate. No, actually, that still won't work. Hang on. No. Only messing. Yeah. So
I'm not.
Well, during the race, we did talk about track limits. Now, what I'm going to say is, we are going to have a look at some stuff on the G-Spot regarding track limits. So I would recommend that people watch that, because I think it more than anything, it'd be educational for everybody. And to be honest, it's something that once we've had a look at it, right? Maybe something that the admins talk about, and I don't know, have different views on, and that's the thing. People may have different views, which is one of the reasons why I've decided we'll have a look at it. But for now, as we are recording this, Jason is confirmed victor. Well done to him. Dave the Harp, second place. I got to say, he's done a great job to finish second. I think it's just unfortunate that the 2 times where the likes of SGP, Demon R, Steve F1 aren't there to take a win, Jason's been there and sort of stole the opportunity from Dave. but Dave's had a great race, I would say.
Yeah, he did have a good race.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Yeah, we did see him going sideways a few times, didn't we? But he managed to keep his nerves.
That he did. Third place was Steve F1. We saw that overtake on the last lap, didn't we? Steve F1 on SGP. Difficult from the angles we had to know sort of exactly what happened there, but we are going to have a look at that on the G-Spot as well. We'll have a look and see if Steve F1 punted SGP off, as I said on commentary.
Yeah, it looked like that, but nah. Well, I'm sure when we look at the G-Spot, we will confirm it was that.
Yeah, looks can be deceptive. Just ask my exes. They all thought I was better looking than in reality. Okay, fourth place was SGP. He done enough to win the championship. All I think he wanted to do in this race was give other people an opportunity and have a fun race from the back. I do know he contemplated doing the Champions Challenge anyway, or half doing it. But yeah, he didn't need to, didn't have to. But I don't see any harm with him starting at the back because he only did need to score 1 point. I don't see the harm in that. Fifth place, who was
Jimmy?
Fifth? Jimmy. Yeah, Jim. Well done, Jimmy. I'm surprised after that he hasn't said he had it in the bag, because that would have been the perfect time on this one to take the piss and say, "Oh, I had it in the bag" afterwards, because I don't know what position he was in coming into the Porsche curves, but it definitely wasn't fifth. But yeah, interesting race from Jimmy, shall we say. But actually, thinking about it, Ray, a few overtakes from Jimmy we saw down at the end of the long straight, where it looked like he was good on the brakes.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a few overtakes. Well, was it? I get them mixed up. Bob as well, because the colours of cars. Maybe have to change that for next season.
Yeah. Well, with Bob coming in late to this one, I decided not to pick him up on it. Also, I thought, let's make it interesting. But yeah, I will try and make sure that Bob has a livery that looks less like Jimmy's in future. But yeah.
It's not that. They drive the same sideways and later on the brake.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. You talk about how a car behaves and knowing, like when people say, "Oh, well, you can tell which car's driven by Fernando Alonso just by the way the car behaves." Yeah, that's the same with Jimmy and Bob. Okay, so yeah, Jimmy fifth. Well done to him. To be honest, I think Jimmy's had his best ever championship result. In this championship, so well done to Jimmy. Sixth place was SRI, also capitalising at the end there with the whatever happened at the final lap. So yeah, well done to him on sixth.
Yeah, there were a lot of positions changing up and down. With him, he was at the front of the pack and then to the back of the pack and then back up to the middle. And so, yeah, he did an interesting race. Yeah. Not as interesting as the person next, Demon R and Southern. He was everywhere.
Well, yeah. I mean, one thing we haven't done this season is show the qualifying times, which nobody's mentioned about, and in a way, as valid as it might be, because we don't really get to see qualifying, I don't think it makes a difference. But what I will say is, Demon R did qualify on pole by 2 seconds around this track, which normally would then equate to...
It wasn't 2 seconds, it was 1.969.
Well,
it wasn't 2 seconds.
I was rounding up. But normally that would equate to, like, that's fast enough pace to offset the boost and pull away.
But I don't want to take anything away from Demon R, but for qualifying at this track, just had to have it spot on, because you only got one lap for qualifying, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean that does make a difference.
Yeah, so it managed to get it spot on. Nobody else had more time to get more comfortable with the car or the tyres to their preferred operating window.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You only got to go a little bit wide or miss one apex by a tiny bit. You lose half a second, and around a track like that, you could lose a lot quite easily. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying there. So I mean, yeah, you're right. Not to take anything away from you. You fucking really put my fire out there, haven't you, you bastard? But no.
I don't take anything away from you. I was just saying, you nailed your
joking.
thing.
But yeah, I mean, I was just saying that normally a big gap in qualifying would suggest that person could run away at the front, but that wasn't to be today, because Twilight was right up De Minar's rear end all the way through that first lap, and De Minar made a mistake on that first lap at the Porsche curves, and that then put him into the pack and into the fight. So an interesting race, let's put it that way. Who finished in 8th? Would it be Rich?
No, it was Bob. Almighty Norse Bob.
Bob's had an eventful race.
Yeah. I think he's got to pay to replace a kitty litter in most corners.
Quite possibly. I think it's one of those, again, though, where... I mean, I'm thinking about the race we've had there, and I'm thinking of some drivers who have, prior times of racing around that track, have had crashes at certain corners, and they really struggle with certain corners, like into the Porsche curves, or through the Porsche curves. But a lot of drivers have improved when we've come back to this track, and I think for Bob, I think it's just a case of that, where I don't think he's necessarily done anything wrong. It's one more race of experience around that track for him with us lot, and getting used to it. I mean, to be fair...
Yeah, because he is practically new to the league.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It doesn't matter how fast a driver may be or how clean they may be. When you're new to a league, everything sort of can easily go out the window. I mean, even just things like by trying to be a little more cautious, you could end up having crashes. So, yeah. But I mean, Bob Dunmo stuck with it, and comes away with an 8th place. 9th, who was 9th?
9th was Rich Blues.
Oh. Well, Rich, I mean, throughout the whole race was right in the thick of the action. Did a lovely overtake, I think, on Steve F1. Yeah, it'll be interesting, because I don't think we really got to see that fully, so maybe that's something we can have a look at on a G-Spot. Because I know there was an overtake he did early in the season that we weren't able to see as well, so but we'll find out. But for Rich, he was 6th place the final lap coming out the Porsche curves. I think he got a bit wide, lost a place to De Minar, and then with what happened at the final corners, ended up getting reset and went from 6th to 9th. So a bit painful for Rich, a painful end.
Yeah. It was painful, and the track officials decided to reset them, didn't they?
Yeah, for cutting corners. I don't know, shocking. But I think throughout the rest of the race, though, Rich is... I mean, again, it's like I'm thinking, okay, did we see Rich going massively deep at the corners at the end of the long straights? Not that I remember. Did we see him going off into the Porsche curves? Not that I remember. Did we see him going off at Indianapolis? Yes, once. But then we've seen the likes of Steve F1 do it, and SGP I think did it. So yeah, once that's easily done. So I'm looking at it and thinking, well, I think Rich has had a really good race, because the things that he may have struggled with around that track in the past, he's not struggled with anywhere near as much. So yeah, I'm happy for it.
Yep, it's a good race.
10th.
I think
Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh yeah, 10th Art Pal. Yeah.
I thought if you were going to say something else about Rich, carry on.
Nah, it's alright. 10th Art Pal. He was up and down the pack, wasn't he?
He was in the prime position though, 5th place, and I mean that last lap, he was in that 5th place at the start of the last lap and managed to hold on to it all the way to the final corners. I mean, throughout the race, right in the thick of the action, good stuff. So yeah, I don't know what you want to add to that.
Yeah, he was right in the thick of the action. He had a big crash, didn't he?
He did have a couple, yeah.
The big. Did they not have the big crash at? I'll put my track map away.
He had one at Indianapolis.
The one where the wall's on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
The gravel on the wall.
Yeah. The left-hander, like you come through the right kink into left-hander, that's Indianapolis, yeah. Yeah, so he had a big crash there, which was just after a bit of a crash with Hay, wasn't it? And he was collected by I think he was collected by Hay a few laps later as well into the same corner. So yeah, survived a couple of crashes, but I think he may have dropped it on his own in the final few corners, which I can imagine he'll be kicking himself for, because he'd got the 5th place in the bag. But as we know, that bag's got fucking holes in it.
Yeah. Produces holes like nothing else.
There's a hole in my bag. Did you be?
Yeah. 11th was here. He was up and down the pack in the fight. A few little errors. Maybe a couple on the brakes. Into the Mulsanne?
Yep.
Excuse me, I've got a sneeze. I need to make myself.
I wonder if Scottish people sneeze with an accent. Makachu! Yeah, so into the Mulsanne curve, yeah.
Yeah, I had a few wee battles, couple of mistakes. The end of Annapolis or whatever it's called, where he was going backwards. But yeah.
I mean, one thing. So go on.
No, on you go.
I was going to say, one thing that we did learn from practice on Monday when Twilight used the pad was just how tricky it was to make minor adjustments on the pad, especially on the straights. So I think it perhaps opened my eyes a little bit to how tricky it could be for Hay at times. But also I'm thinking about how many times we saw Hay opt to go onto the really wide line down the long straight, which may be why he struggled a bit in the braking zone, because of getting dirty tyres down the straight. Because it's one of those things, I know, in my view, down the straight you're better off sticking to those 2 lanes if you can, because your tyres will be clean. But I mean, I also did look at whether it's faster to do the first part of the straight on the left, the middle part of the straight on the right, and the final part of the straight on the left, like the racing lines for when the chicanes are there. But it actually costs time in these cars. So yeah, to be honest, sometimes you're just better off picking one of those 2 lanes and sticking with it.
Yeah, sticking with the car in front.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Twilight, unfortunately, with a DNF, but yeah, I mean, I understand he's got issues there.
we know he's got a sore ankle, and well, I think it's more than a sore ankle, but he gave it a bash, didn't he? And then I think he got called away with the wife. So hopefully everything was okay. I didn't hear from him. He said he was going to message. Never did. We need to pull him up for that.
Yeah, I have to remind him. Okay, in a moment we will confirm the conference race result and the championship standings for the final race. We'll mention, yes, there will be a G-spot. I'll have a think about when I'm going to release it. I might do it Monday for this final one and then change it in the new year. As for what is coming next in Dynamic GT League, well, we're having a couple of weeks off now, folks. So as we get closer to Christmas, we're going to still have some driving on the Thursdays, but it'll be privately. Yeah, that's what we'll be doing. And then on the 5th of January, we'll have the ARC, the Annual Rivals Challenge, which will be in the Lamborghini. The voting is almost complete for what track we are going to be using. And once the will is completed for the track, we'll get the tyres confirmed and stuff for that. Now, whether we
Is it not the Red Bull ring?
I thought it was Route X.
Yeah.
Could you imagine commentating on a race around Route X? And they're going down a straight. And they're going down a straight. And they're going the 5 wide going down a straight. And they've all crashed in the corner. Yeah, so the Annual Rivals Challenge last year, we didn't record it and do commentary on it. I don't know if we'll do it again this year. I guess we'll see how we feel. I'm not going to tie us down to it.
Wait,
so yeah.
It's on the 5th of January?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Why? What you done?
Well, it's holiday season. I don't sober up till the 7th.
Well, yeah, till the 7th, yeah. What, month? The 7th month? But yeah, and also, usually, by the end of one championship, we will have confirmed the car for the next championship. We haven't done that yet. It's coming. To be honest, I did want to reveal the car on Thursday, just gone. But I wasn't able to. So it's in the process of being a video being produced to reveal the car. So we are going to be doing that, but we've got a few weeks anyway, folks, so don't panic. But there will be a new championship starting, I believe, the week after the ARC.
Yeah, Sandbubbles.
Yeah. Also, I just want to know, Ray, if you know what your most common saying has been in today's commentary.
I don't know.
Been very up and down.
Up and down.
It made me wonder if you'd heard, if I told you the joke about the airplane.
What about that?
Well, have I told you a joke about an airplane?
You've told me that many jokes, I don't know.
I don't think I have. It's alright, it'd go over your head anyway.
Aye.
Right, should we check out the conference race result and the championship standings?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, thank you for joining me on commentary, Ray. Thank you.
No worries, I'm going to enjoy my 2 weeks break without shitty jokes.
Yep. Oh, I'll send you them, don't worry.
Well, I'll be more than 2 weeks, won't it?
It will be, yeah. It will, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
thank God, it's going to be paradise.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I will mention is, for anyone who's wondering why we are having, I think it's going to be about 4 weeks break, it is because we haven't really had much of a break for quite a few months, really, have we?
I don't know.
No. So, yeah. But anyway, have a good Christmas, everybody. You know what to do.
Yep.
Be safe. And
a happy new year.
Yep. If you can remember. Right, let's go and check out the final confirmations before we finish for this season. Here we go then. Jason taking the victory, the maximum 20 points. David Harp second place, 17 for him, 2 ahead of Steve F1 in third. SGP finishes in fourth place with Jimmy in fifth. SRI in sixth place. Jimmy and SRI pinching the positions of Demon R at the end. However, SRI does get a -3 point penalty for nudging Rich off. It was unfortunate. Information is on the DGT League Facebook page. But yeah, into the final chicanes, a little bit of a nudge on Rich, which resulted in Rich being reset. Demon R in 7th, Bob in 8th, Rich in 9th, Art Pal 10th, Hay in 11th, and Twilight did not finish. But it was a very exciting race, a good way to end the championship, and it wouldn't be Dynamic GT League if there wasn't drama on the final lap, would it? But yeah, I mean, thinking of SRI's penalty, it's a little bit unfortunate. It was such a tiny touch, but sometimes that's all it takes. Confirmation then of the final standings. SGP is champion on 156 points, ahead of Demon R in second place. Steve F1 managed to hold on to third place, but only by 1 point. Dave the Harp in fourth. Jason with that victory opens up the gap to those behind him, 97 points for him. Jimmy, what a result for him in the race and in the championship. Sixth place, 76 points, well done. See if you can carry that on into 2023. SRI finished in 7th place on 68 points. He jumps above Twilight, who's now in 8th on 62. Formula Gary drops down, 9th place for him, 57 points. Rich Blues wasn't quite able to catch him. Maybe would have done though had he not got reset at the end of the race. Oh, just to like twist the knife a bit more. So yeah, 10th place for Rich, 53 points. Conrad drops to 11th on 49 points. Then we've got Bob on 44. To be fair, he's had a decent first season. It's not easy coming in as the new guy, but he's doing all right. So keep it up. 12th place, that is Bob. 13th was Hay. Missed a few races this season, and also has had some medical news. I won't go into detail, it's not my story to tell, but wishing you the best and hope you do get better soon. Art Pal, 14th place, 33 points, missed a number of races in this championship. It's just November, busy time. I think he was away for about 3 or 4 weeks. So yeah, tough end to the championship for him, especially when he was on for that 5th place finish today. Yeah, the little painful spin in the final chicanes, they can be nasty, those corners, they really can. Just ask Rich who will be asking us. Alright. And then Bunsell, who wasn't able to actually get to the racetrack at this championship, but as we've been saying all along, he will be back. What I do want to say though is thank you to all of the drivers for taking part, and yeah, if you haven't enjoyed this car, hopefully you will enjoy the cars of the future. Now at the time of commenting on this, the next championship car has been revealed. I also want to mention as well that the incident that SRI's got a penalty for will be shown on the G-Spot this week. However, the recording of the G-Spot was done before the incident was reported. Okay, so just bear that in mind. It is pre-stewards looking at it. Other than that, yeah, have a great Christmas, everybody. We are going to be taking a bit of a break now, so have a good time, enjoy yourselves, keep warm, and yeah, I wish you all the best. Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, and thank you to the DGT admins for putting this all together, and also thank you to you, the viewers, the fans who watch just for the entertainment. I'm glad we are entertaining a bit. Okay, have a good one, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.